Yo guys, so I got this build your own Arduino kit from Jameco. A little bit expensive. I didn't get it for 14 bucks though, so but it's expensive. I could buy all these parts for like $5, but I needed this to just give me a base so I could begin designing my own Arduino PCB. So let's get to building this. It's pretty much just build your own Arduino. Let's go. A little bit of a chat. So the main goal I think with this is we're going to copy this, but if you look at the paper right here for the Arduino kit, it's not going to look like this. We're not going to have all the connections properly. It's going to be like this, but it's not going to have all these headers. I'm going to try to use a second breadboard to get the headers for now, possibly in the future, which not possibly. We're going to get a PCB working with this, but we're not ready for that yet. But if we look at this Arduino, it's like that. Also, for programming the Arduino, we're gonna have to use this Arduino as ISP. But I'm getting a USB to serial converter soon from eBay. So that should fix our problem with the programming. I don't think there's USB function built in. If we look here, no, there is no USB function built in. But there is a header, so pretty nice.
Hey guys, we're in voiceover mode. So, I sped up this thing very quickly because this is 5 hours of me constructing a prototype. So, I'm trying to condense it. So right now we're just connecting some basic pin layouts to get, I'm assuming, the 5.5 volt circuit. So this is me voiceovering. I need to keep this clear because if I weren't voiceovering, then this would take like the 5 hours of content if you were looking at the live thing. So yes, right now we're doing the 5.5 volt circuit. This circuit is going to make it so our 5.5 volt connections work. Our 5 volt connections will work. I always say 5.5. On the other side, we are constructing at this moment. We are connecting both sides of the breadboard, so the power would reach everywhere. So our circuit is complete at this point. We are now opening our Arduino, and you look at my amazing opening skills. I'm using wires, or we're opening our 18 mega 328p, which is the brain of our Arduino. You see my wire cutter opener skills. I go like that. Oh my god, I can't open stuff. This is very bad. Okay, I opened it. It came with an extra dip socket, but we didn't need that because we're sticking it on a breadboard. We have our circuits here. We already made the wiring for it, so we have to take our 501, connect that, and now we need a capacitor. This capacitor is gonna go, I'm assuming, in between the 5 volt connection and the ground. It's for establishing a link between them. I'm not exactly sure what the function of this is. Now again, you can see how the camera angle shifts after I suck at opening stuff. I need to learn to open stuff. Like, I actually don't know what's going on at this point. My opening skills need some work, but that's the capacitors we're using. Okay, so now we already have the 5 volt circuit connected. You can see over there. We also have a light connected. This light will always flash. I thought it wasn't always flashing, but it turns out it actually is that light that always flashes. It's always there, always on. Whenever there's power, it's on. It's not linked to the 18 mega 328p. Now we're connecting the right pins of the 18 mega 328p to the 5 volt and ground. At this moment, I don't want to bore you with listing out these pins, so I will have a link to you guys to a page that will show you every single pin and where you need it to go. But for now, let's get back to my awful opening skills. I'm putting these in the videos to show you how awful I am at opening it. So now we're taking out the crystal. This is a 16 megahertz external crystal. It works as an oscillator for our machine. I tried to show you what it was, the model, but it's 16 megahertz crystal. That's all you need to know. We're going to use 2 capacitors to relay this crystal to ground. On a breadboard, it's very nice, so you can relay it to ground. if you were not using a breadboard, then you have to relay directly to the ground pin on the 18 mega 328p. But we don't need to do that, so we're good. Now we're opening the capacitors because we need to relay it to ground. And yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's torture to your eyes to watch me open these, but I just really wanted to see your reaction to me opening this. Yes, I took out the dikes. I know. Don't be mad at me, please. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be open soon. The torture's about to end. Okay. Like you have like 2 seconds of this left. Alright, okay. Those are the resistors or capacitors we're using. It's all I don't wanna say model names at this moment. If you see they're connected like that over there, the one end of the capacitor is connected to ground. Is connected to the crystal and one end is connected to ground. So that's the main function of them, just to connect to ground. They're not polarized or anything, so it's fine. You can do either way. We're also connecting a resistor to the reset pin. We also are gonna end up connecting a button in like a second if I can get through. These resistors were like really bad quality, so don't blame me for the struggles over here. Yes, I know, you see my struggling. But if you guys need exact model names, you can go to the documentation, which is the Jameco website. All you have to do is go to jameco.com/Arduino build guide. They have some very nice documentation, and you can purchase a kit from them, which will have all the will have most of the required materials for this build. There will be a few extra materials like the FTDI breakout circuit, and you're gonna need some wires and some breadboards. Notice the flow, you'll see. Right now we're not there yet, but it's almost gonna be plural time. I'd also recommend having an Arduino if you have an 18 mega 328p, because you need an Arduino to run the bootloader. You could get one with a bootloader. Jameco said this one had a bootloader, it didn't. And turns out the 8 megahertz oscillator, the internal one, was busted, but that was pretty easy to fix. So now we're connecting a circuit. Right now we are doing the light, the pin 13 one. So D13 on the Arduino, if you don't know, is the light. It's like Arduino's. This is a standard thing. The Arduino standard Blink program, the one you're using, always like the first code you run on your Arduino, pretty much, is this light. One connected to D13. So we're connecting that. That's the easiest way to test the Arduino than having a circuit. So this moment we are finally moving on to the 3.3 volt circuit. That's why I said 5.5 earlier, because it's like 3.35. You gotta remember these capacitors. These are awful. I hate these. There's no way to tell what they are. It's like polyethylene capacitors or whatever. When it says that on the guide, you have to know these are polyethylene capacitors if you're getting this kit. So don't be confused like me. I think they're polarized? Yes, they are polarized. The place where it says plus plus, that's the plus. You can see it over there. Like, if you go up close, there will be like 2 pluses, and you can see that. At this moment, we're just like strapping a bunch of wires together, getting this whole thing working. We got the 3.3 volt circuit in, and we're re-putting the 5 volt circuit. This one took me a very, very, very long time. This is sped up like 4 times, I'm guessing. So if your eyes hurt from the speed, I'm sorry. But that's what happens when you have struggles like mine. Okay, at this current moment in time, I felt the thing was complete, so I began with the batteries. Yes, I opened the thing, if I can open it. Oh my god. Okay, I need to get a pair of scissors soon. I'm so sorry you have to suffer through this. But it's hopefully past Eddie, work harder, come on. You can pick up the pace, man. Let's go. Do this. You can do this. Do this. Yes. Alright, the battery is in. Now all we have to do is plug in ground to 5 volts. Okay, something lit up. That is great. That's what I thought at the moment, but now I realized it's not, because it's just the power. Now, this is a clip with me with the FDDI converter. For comedy effect, I decided to voice over this. I had audio there, but yes, I promise you I did. So I open it slowly with my awful opening skills sped up like 250%. And then I like take it out and I'm like, oh yeah, I need this to do the USB to serial, blah 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 blah, some nerdy stuff. And then I'm like, bye. And then I end up showing you how this is done. You know how it's done. It's the key of life. So first we stick the DTR into the reset through a capacitor. In this clip it doesn't show it going through a capacitor. I correct that in like 2 minutes. Or in like a minute. Next we connect the I'm thinking TX to RX and RX to TX. It's listed on the bottom of the FTDI converter, right next to the pins, what they're called. So it's not that big of a challenge to assemble them. And we have to connect the VCC to the 5V. VCC and 5V are interchangeable, or just like VCC and the connection, like the red plus are interchangeable, and we have to connect ground to ground. So now I try it. Plug it into my computer. If I'm using a mechanical keyboard, I love you on the keyboard. Something blinks, that thing is on. And yeah, I try installing drivers, doesn't work. At this point I give up, because it's failed. But I got it to work finally because of my skills and dedication, and I had to move the 5.5 volt circuit away from the power button. Thanks for watching.